Just actually reading on our wires here, the UK government confirms that top-level sport in England can resume behind closed doors from June the 1st. That is literally hot off the press right now. Let's get the reaction to that. We were going to get going, weren't we, on July the 4th, 5th? It was, of course, with the footballers, the Brighton and Hove Albion footballers, 3 of them contracting it. You wondered whether that would mean that the FA might kick the can down the road. But as far as our sport is concerned, that is a significant step in the right direction. Karun, can I come to you on that?
Yeah, I mean, they've talked about going to Austria first in July, and if from that statement you've just said, June 1st, I think the earliest they were looking to come to Silverstone was late July, and then possibly doing a doubleheader straight away as rounds 3 and 4 of this modified calendar. So yeah, I mean, this is a good sign, I guess. In terms of the quarantines and the 14-day lockdown period, quarantine period that Craig was talking about, we have to see what the situation is in July. We're still on the 11th of May here, and that could change and will change in the next few weeks, Simon.
Yeah, or down to the R value, as they were saying yesterday at the press conference. But as far as the sport is concerned, you're seeing a few things being bandied around. 15 to 18 might seem a little bit on the high side, Johnny. Everyone's working towards that. I think the teams are sort of accepted of the fact that it could be as many as that. It could be just a European season. It might be as few as 0. But right now, we've just got to take everything as it comes, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do, and I think this is exactly what the team are doing with Liberty and the FIA, and I think everybody seems to be coming together, which is really refreshing for me. And I think whatever decision is made, wherever those races will be, we all know how organised Formula One is, and because of that, they will be able to sort of change their plans at the last minute because they have done that for so long. So overall, the championship, I think, will be as tough as it always has been, probably that little bit tougher. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to go racing, and that's the most important thing. Sport is something that is important for everybody around the world.
Yeah, no room for error as well, particularly if it's a reduced competition in terms of number of races. Craig, just final one from you.
Yeah, I just think isn't it important that football, if it does come back first, comes back without problems and enables the sporting world to gain momentum. I think that would help Formula One's cause in terms of getting started again if football relaunches successfully. They were working to a slightly tighter deadline because UEFA wanted details on how, for example, the Premier League was going to resume within the next 10 days. So now we have that time by which they can start again. Interestingly, it's around about the same time, and we're talking from the 27th of this month, that likes of McLaren are opening their factory again, Racing Point and the other teams all within 2 or 3 days of each other. So the factories should be open from around about June the 1st, giving them 4 weeks to prepare for those races in Austria, ideally at the start of July.
Yeah, there we go. Again, UK government confirms top-level sport in England can resume behind from June the 1st. Right. On the subject of Carlos Sainz, though, obviously there's been a lot of links. People are saying if Vettel turns down this contract for 2021, Ferrari favourite is probably Sainz now over Ricciardo. What's your view on that?
Look, I think someone like Carlos Sainz, he's not had a chance with a top 3 team, so he's desperate for that opportunity to show what he could do in a top team. Being at Ferrari obviously gives him that opportunity. For Ferrari, they've got to read the market. They've already got Charles there for the long term. They've got to find someone who's going to work alongside as well. You don't want to upset the dynamics. Clearly, they've got someone very special with Charles, so they've got to get someone who works well alongside him. Do they get 2 number ones? Do they go for a number 1, number 2? I think that's going to play a part in what Ferrari decide to do going forward from 2021.
Good one to you as well, Craig.
Yes, that's right. Long-time McLaren engineer Simon Roberts has joined Williams as the managing director of their F1 team. That fills the role essentially held by Paddy Lowe, which hadn't been filled since his departure a couple of seasons ago. A quick word as well about Racing Point. They've appointed Jeff Slack as their managing director. That's a commercial role. He used to be with Jordan not Jordan, the F1 team, but Michael Jordan, the basketball player, believe it or not. He's also had a background in football marketing, but his essentially a commercial role to help smooth the transition between Racing Point and Aston Martin, which will, of course, they'll become in a year's time.